So I say these comments a lot, and it's always very, very funny to me because I'm like, where is this coming from, you know? And you know, on my channel, I do a lot of videos around travel, you know, content around Ghana and Nigerians willing to come here, explaining certain things to them, what they should expect, how they should double their hustle and all that. And I realize that sometimes these things don't sit too well with a lot of people, and they come to my comment section and say certain things, and in my head I'm wondering, I don't understand. Like, this is me making people understand. Of course, on a lot of Nigerian blogs, you see maybe Nigerians in diaspora try to explain to Nigerians, like, it's not as easy as you think it is out there. Now I take my time to do certain videos around this, breaking down cost of expense, cost of living, everything, your monthly expenses, house rent, and all these things, you know, for people out there to understand. But of course, some people don't understand some of my videos, and they begin to just comment on drop certain things that make me like, and you guys saw when I brought Lily, or I had a discussion, or I had a video with Lily, and she said she also, you know, gets, or she also gets comments or people from Nigeria asking her a lot about Ghana, and she puts it on her own video channel too. So me doing the same thing, I'm like, oh, when she even said it, I said, oh, that means it's even the same, right? So people tend to ask you questions, and you're relating back, you're giving, this is just like giving feedback to somebody or trying, but you put it on your channel. Now you follow me, yes, I appreciate you following me, but if you don't understand certain things, try and ask questions. And if you've not lived in both countries, sometimes I feel don't even say what you don't know, because this is living. I've lived in Nigeria all my life. Now I'm living in Ghana now because all my husbands work, and people back home are asking me certain questions, and I put it out to them, and a lot of people just come and say certain things, especially dragging of currency. Like, the way Ghanaians drag about this currency thing makes me laugh a whole lot. Imagine somebody could drop in my comment section that 20,000 cedis can build a house in Nigeria. In fact, when I saw this comment, I just busted out and started laughing like, what did you just say? 20,000 cedis can build a house in Nigeria? How? Like, how? Then another time somebody said 2,000 cedis is a lot of money in Nigeria, and I'm like, 2,000 cedis is a lot of money in Nigeria. Like, how? Now this is the perception a lot of you guys have out there that you do not know. You've not lived in this country. I'm not talking about visit, I'm talking about living, because there's a difference between living in the country and actually just coming to stay a week or two, because that one, some of you even have people that you can hang out with, right? So you might not even pay hotel bill, you might not pay, you know, anything. It's just your feeding, so you really do not know anything. So it's actually not the same. Visiting is not the same as when you live in the country. Now I've lived here for almost 2 years. There's really nothing you want to ask me, of course not everything though, but I can answer about Nigeria, Ghana sort of thing. Now this currency thing, let me do a very good breakdown for you guys so that you're gonna understand why Nigerians always tell you that it's more expensive living here. They're not telling you that, oh, Ghana is bad or anything. They're just telling you that it's more expensive living here. And I'm going to break it down to you so you will understand. So I get to see, both in my own comment section, in a lot of Ghanaian blogs, where Ghanaians drag about the currency being better than the Naira and all that. Well, it's good to feel good, right? It's actually good to feel good. But I'm going to break all these things down to you, because a lot of you have actually not been out there, and this is not me trying to defend anything. I am not defending, I'm putting out facts to you. I put out facts. Trust me, Nigerians are the first to drag their country when a lot of things are not going. In fact, Nigerians are very, very vocal about things going on in the country. Yes, and a lot of us do it. We are very, very vocal. Maybe something is wrong, they call it out immediately. So we are really not, we don't pretend about things being good or things being bad. But in this case, now let me use that exact 2,000 cedis, that, because in the last one, and I've been dropping comments, because when that person commented, some people replied me, and I tried to educate them about all these things, because if you don't understand it, you think, oh yes, we are doing too well. Trust me, both countries, we have our issues. Like, we have in fact, our issues are even similar. We have currency issue, importation issue, bad road issue, infrastructure issue, so many issues we have together. Outside electricity, yes, electricity, we are very, very, this is Africa. Like, the guy interview said, this is Africa. So the issues are almost the same. is the exchange rate that I'm talking about, dollar to cedis, is going up like almost every day. The same thing with the naira to dollar to the naira is the same thing. Like there's really we import virtually everything in both countries. So how can we be doing well as countries when we are importing virtually everything? Now back to this currency thing. Let me do the calculation for you guys so that you're going to understand it very, very well. Now I exchange dollar almost every time. I exchange naira to cedis almost every time. So I think I'm in the best position to explain this thing to you guys. Now you have 2,000 cedis. The current exchange rate, for example, you want to change 2,000 cedis to naira. Let me say that you want to change 2,000 cedis to naira. Let me do the calculation for you guys. 2,000 cedis, the rate right now is 14.3. That's the rate. At some point, the thing drops to 11.6, 7, 12 point. But right now, the rate is 14.3. So if I'm going to be exchanging to naira, I have 2,000 cedis. I want to exchange to naira. That's going to be 2,000 cedis divided by 14.3 times 1,000. Let's do that right now. So 2,000 cedis divided by 14.3 times 1,000. That gives me 139,860 naira. That is what it gives me. So 2,000 cedis is 139 naira 860. Let's just say 140,000 naira, right? Let's just approximate it to 140,000. Now, if I'm going to be exchanging this money back to the cedis, it's going to give me 2,000 cedis. Now, let me explain to you why Nigerians will tell you that it's more expensive living in Ghana. What 2,000 cedis can do in Ghana? This 140,000 naira will do more in Nigeria than what it can do in Ghana. I don't know if you understand it. This is 2,000 cedis. In Ghana, even into a lot of Ghanaians, it really can't do a lot. But this 140,000 naira is going to do more in Nigeria than when you convert it to spend here. Do you guys understand me? Let me still break it down more. How we usually say Ghana is ×2 or ×3 more expensive than Nigeria. Let me break it down to you more. Now, house, let me use house rent for example. 2,000 cedis. So let's use a 1-bedroom. Let me use a 1-bedroom apartment. So a 1-bedroom apartment in Ghana should be like 700, 800 cedis, right? 800, in some places 1,000, but I'm going to be using outskirts of Accra. You know, outskirts of Accra, you can get like, let's say 800 cedis or 1,000 cedis, because I know, yes, for a 1-bedroom, because I know 2-bedroom is from 1,005 to between 1,005 to 2,005. So a 1-bedroom will be from 800 to like 1,004, right? So let's just use 1,000 cedis. It might not be up to your place. I'm just using 1,000 cedis, but a lot of people can get for 800, 700, or let me use 800 cedis. Let's just use 800 cedis, right? So I'm using 800 cedis. 800 cedis for a 1-bedroom times 12 is 9,600, right? So that's 9,600. But in Nigeria now, a 1-bedroom apartment is like 250, 300, 350,000 for a 1-bedroom. So let's use 300,000. Let me not use 350. Let's use 300,000, because a lot of places still, you can still get for 200, 250, you know. But I know it's mostly 250, but let's use 300,000 for a 1-bedroom. You can, there are places you can get far more, and I'm using Lagos mainland, not Lagos Island. If you're using on the island, you can be getting as much as maybe 900,000 because of the island, because most of them will promise you 24 hours light. Like on the island, a lot of places you live on the island comes with 24 hours light. I don't know if you guys understand, but now on the mainland you might not get such promises. So let's use 300,000. Now 300,000 divided by 2 is 150k, very, very close to our 140,000. So that's money for 6 months is 150,000, right? Money for 6 months for a 1-bedroom apartment in Ghana is 4,800 cedis. 4,800 cedis. Why in Nigeria is 150,000? Very, very close to our 140,000. Now the rates I gave you change like every time, but as at the day I'm doing these videos, so you don't see this video a year after and say, oh, the rate is so and so. No, as at today, 6th of October 2022, this is the rate. In fact, as just last week it was 14 cedis. Right now it's 14.3, so I'm using the exact rate today. So when it was 14 cedis, it was like 149,000 something, so it was very, very close to this 150. But because I want to be sincere in my video, I am giving you the exact rate today. Now 140,000, of course, that's 140,000. So this is 6 months rent in Nigeria for a 1-bedroom is 140,000, very close to my 150,000, right? But it's 6 months rent in Ghana at 800 cedis per month is 4,800 cedis. Have you guys seen it? Why Nigerians always tell you that Ghana is ×2? I'm using house rent. I'm not even using food. I'm not using every other thing. Are you guys seeing the explanation now? I'm taking my time to explain this thing to you so that you guys don't feel some sort of way. We're just telling you this is how it is. So we explain back to those at home so that they can understand very, very well. So if I'm to change this 4,008, it's going to be giving me 4,008 back to Naira. It's going to be giving me 335,664. So are you saying that what I'm going to pay 6 months, 4,008, can pay me a 1-bedroom for a whole year in Nigeria? Are you guys seeing the simple explanation to this? Are you guys seeing why we always say Ghana is ×2 of what things are in Nigeria? So if I'm having 335,000 naira, that's like that 335,000 is what I'm going to use to get 6 months rent here. But with 300,000, I'm going to get 1 year rent in Nigeria. But with 300,000, I'm going to get 1 year rent in Nigeria. Like, are you guys understanding this thing? This is how it is. Now, I want to still explain this currency thing to you guys. When I go to the market a lot of times, I see a lot of, when I maybe want to pay for something 200 cedis and you bring out 200 cedis, then I'm talking about what made me curious to understand this currency thing. Now, when you bring it out, I noticed that a lot of these old women still call the money by the old name. Ghanaians, you guys know what I'm saying. They still call the money by the old name until I asked the Ghanaian. She told me, oh, that was when this redenomination thing was explained to me, that oh, their money was like this, it was in millions, then they removed 4 zeros from it. So what we used to have now, that's why our lowest denomination now became 200 cedis. Sorry, the highest denomination now became 200 cedis, but before it was in millions, because when I go to the market, I'll call them saying something million. I used to get confused until I asked, oh, okay, so 4 zeros were removed from the money. So currently what you have as 2,000 cedis used to be some good millions, like it used to be called in millions. And a lot of Ghanaians do tell me, though somebody has told me that that's not true, but most, when you ask them, they used to tell that they preferred the old money because things were cheaper and all that then and now. Yes, I understand that inflation rate has increased over the years. But of course, even with the inflation rate, percentages are not the same in every country. So that's why it still looks as if things are more expensive here than in other places. I don't know if you guys understand. Inflation rate. Now, all these things I'm saying, I'm not telling you that Nigeria is cheaper, because inflation rate or inflation is also affecting. In fact, the whole world is affected by inflation right now. But the percentage in every country is not the same. It's affecting we more in Africa because we are dependent on other countries for our livelihood. We virtually import everything, so everything that affects them affects us. Because we import everything, the rate of dollar is going up, so our inflation rate will definitely be higher than those of the Western world. Do you guys understand? They have their own inflation, trust me, they do, but it's going to be higher here in Africa depending on how you import. Because if you're importing too much, that means you're exchanging to the dollar to buy whatever thing you're importing. So if your money keeps going up, that means the prices of things will continually go up. Now, when it was explained to me that the current 2,000 cedis now used to be millions of cedis. Now, this is when the Ghanaians make a lot of mistakes, and this is not to now make the Naira big. Now, we calculated 2,000 cedis to be equivalent of 140,000, right? So imagine you removed 4 zeros, you have 2,000 cedis. 140,000. If we remove 4 zeros from 140,000, that means we have 14 naira. So what you currently have as 2,000 cedis. If Nigeria is to use the same strategy as you, that means what we'll be having is 14 naira. Have you seen why this argument is very baseless? Have you seen it? So because somebody once told me that, why don't you people also remove your own zeros? So what you currently have as 2,000 cedis, if Nigeria is to remove zeros, 4 zeros like you guys did, and print new notes, what you have as 2,000 will now be 14 naira. Then tomorrow you start bashing your cedis again that naira has more value. So that's why I don't count it as, if you say now, does that make naira now have more value than cedi, or we only denominated the way you denominated your money? Have you seen that there is really no need for this argument? I'm doing this video for those that argue this thing or come to my comment section. Sometimes I'm saying something entirely different, but you guys are arguing currency. In my head I'm like, where is this one coming from again? Like, where is it coming from? Have you guys seen it? When Nigerians tell you it's more expensive here, like I just did a breakdown for you with the calculation. So calculating based on this now will make you understand. So if you don't do any of these calculations, you've not lived in any of the countries, and you come online, you are capping, like you're just talking. I mean, you're like, in my head I'm like, you've not even experienced any of these things. You've not even changed dollar to cedis. You've not changed naira to cedis. You are coming to come and argue. What are you arguing? This one has more value. This one has more value. We are facing the same challenges. We are importing nation. We import everything. We import everything. So how can one be better than the other? Like. So sometimes some of you make these mistakes. Like today now, somebody just went to Google to go and check Google rates. You went to check Google rates. We don't use Google rates to calculate this thing. We use what is on ground. This is it. Google rates. Google now won't tell you that it's 14.3 cedis. I don't know if you understand. Google won't tell you that. The calculations I just did for you now, Google won't do it to you. But that is what we use. Google will just tell you naira is 14. That's not how it's calculated. That is not how it's calculated. Do you understand? So when you want to argue, don't use Google, because even Google, sometimes I have people, these are just, I can write a post today, I can write something today, drop it on a blog, you're going to see it on Google. Somebody's going to read it now, and you are going to go and copy my work. Whether my work is correct or not, you don't even know. Are you seeing where some of us make mistakes? Of course, there are very reputable sites on Google there that you can say that, okay, this one is very, very correct. But just like when you go to go and you want to find out about a celebrity and you go online, you're going to see different information about one particular person because of the different blogs that have written about that person. And sometimes some of the things you could check are even obsolete. If you go down, when you finish reading, some of them do well to drop their date between 2016, 2018. Then you're coming to come and use that to come and argue online when I'm in October 2022. I don't know if you guys understand. So some things that you come to argue about, if nobody's writing about it currently, you're going to be using the old information that is on Google to come and argue. But somebody's telling you that right now, this is what something is. Now, I use South Korea a lot. I remember I've done a video about this before. Like, I really explained the Naira cedi thing, but I didn't go into these calculations. I did not. So now, I use South Korea in that my last video. I'm going to be dropping the link here so that you can also watch that video so that you can understand some of this thing. If you've watched Squid Games, if you've watched Squid Game, or you're a fan or you're a sucker for Korean movies or South Korean movies, you're going to see that their currency is 10,000 won. But Korea is very developed. That's why sometimes this Korea that made me to understand that even this currency thing doesn't really add up, because how can a currency 10,000 won and they are this developed? Why? They are self-sustaining. Korea is a self-sustaining economy. They don't depend on the US, the UK for their sustenance. They produce a lot of things themselves. If you say yes, they of course, there's no country that does not import, but most of these countries import raw materials. So if you're importing raw materials, you know those are the cheapest thing you can import. They're not importing finished products. So you import raw materials and you finish it in your country. It's quite cheaper than when you import finished products, because they're going to be charging you for the labor, for everything they use. But you're just importing raw. Just imagine importing trees or wood, trees, raw material. You're paying virtually nothing for it, just like crude oil is. crude oil, importing crude oil and importing petrol, the prices are not, the gap between both prices are not the same. So now they can import raw materials now and finish it in their country. They are self-sustaining. The country is self-sustaining. That is what we, both countries, Nigeria, Ghana, should be thinking of, not coming to come and drag currency online, because trust me, it does not make sense to me. It does not. Korea now, they don't feel it. I'm sure probably because they don't do a lot of dollar to one exchange so much. So they can comfortably have their 10,000 won and they are not feeling anything wrong about it. And the country is very, very developed, even to their villages. I'm sure a lot of you watch their movies now. See the kind of big money they were calling in Squid Game. You know, the money was big. Can't convert it to Naira. Say it's nothing. But is Nigeria developed? No, we are not. So let's just stop arguing this currency thing, because it doesn't. When I see it on blogs, it just makes me laugh. Like I've stayed here now, so I understand it too. So it's not necessary. So to my Ghanaian subscribers, those of you who, you know, probably because you don't understand these things, you just come and just say certain things. This is the breakdown of everything. Like, I've broken everything down to you guys for you to understand. If you still want to come and argue, I don't think I will be involved in that anymore. This is it. If you've not lived in both countries, you've not exchanged both monies, you've not done a lot of things with it, you have no business arguing. So like I always say, the solution is produce locally. Until we start producing locally, until we start embracing our currencies are going to continue to suffer. Right now, don't even celebrate that dollar is Cedis is doing so well, because you and I know that it's really not doing so well right now. The Naira is not doing so well either. This is even after redenominating, it's still not doing so well. So if you want to come and argue, that 2,000 Cedis you're telling me is big money, it's 140,000. That's 2,000 Cedis after removing 4 zeros, right? So if the 2,000 Cedis now, if Naira now decides to remove, if they decide to remove 4 zeros from Naira now, you know, 140,000, what will be happening is 14 Naira. Have you seen that? It is no need for that argument at all. Like, there's really no need for it at all, because if we do the same, you guys will start bashing your Cedis again. I ain't saying it, you start bashing your Cedis again. So please, there's no need for this. Really no need. Let's begin to embrace our own as Africans. Until we do that, until we cut down in importation, until we start producing, embracing, solving our internal problems instead of trying to, you know, drag each other, until we start, let's solve the problem. The solution, let's come up with solutions. Don't come up with arguments. Come up with solution. The solution, I've given you the part of it. Like, that might not be the only thing, you know, but we are importing. Everything is imported. Like, to our toothpick, we import. Everything is literally imported in both countries. So we can't really say on the international scene we are doing well when we are dependent on other people to survive. Nope. I remember the other one too, who talked about salary scale. It's almost the same thing. If you're earning 2,000 Cedis in Ghana, that 2,000 Cedis is 140,000 in Nigeria. Do you understand? People earn more than that. So now you see why Nigerians will not say, oh, 2,000, I can do more things with 140,000 than I can do with 2,000 Cedis. I just use the house rent as, you know, as an example, so that you guys will understand. So you see the reason why I used to tell Nigerians, or in my videos, when I'm talking videos about, you know, cost of living and all that, I used to tell them, prepare yourself double or times 3, because this is what it is. Here they even call dollar a lot. And of course, I advise, don't go for apartments paid in dollars and all that. So in fact, the 800 Cedis I'm calling for a 1-bedroom, if you're going for an apartment that is in dollars, right, that would be like $200 a month, and $200 right now is 2,000 Cedis. So of course, those are in apartments that are quite expensive. Those that you find around Eastleigh, not even around Spintex Road, there are apartments like that. So you guys have seen it. Like, I've done it, as in I've explained it all out. When I tell people, I say in Ghana you spend double or even triple, because that is what it is, and that is what I've done explaining in this video, not to make anybody feel bad, but I work with facts. These are the facts right now. So until you know the facts, don't argue. This is what it is. Not to make anybody feel bad, like I said. It's just for people to prepare their mind, because when you're going to a place and you're not prepared about it, you just get shocked. Like when you now come there, that's when you are using Google. Which Google is giving you, what Google is giving you is not so correct. This is how it is done. This is how it is calculated. Do you guys understand? Yeah, like I said, it's not like it's cheaper in Nigeria. Inflation rate all over the world right now is on the increase, but percentages between countries differ because some countries import than the other. So it's going to, all that is what affects your inflation rate. I hope this argument will stop because I've taken my time to explain it. So thank you very much. Bye.